When you check into a hotel and you present your ID, do you ever think that you're giving away far more personal information than necessary? The hotel only wants to prove your identity, but now they also know your age, weight, home address, driver's license number, and more. As soon as you hand it over, you lose control. We're often asked to give away too much of our private data. Once it's out of your hands, that information can become susceptible to hacking, the sale of your personal data, or a barrage of unwanted ads. But what if there was an option to verify your personal information without giving away unnecessary, critical, private details? Verifiable Credentials, a pillar of Web 5, solves this. There are digital certificates of claims that are easily shared in a private and secure way. They can prove your legal name, age, ownership of an asset, or anything really. Verifiable Credentials limit the amount of data you share to only what's required, and they can't be tampered with or faked. Let's reimagine how identification could work. With Web 5, the government issues a verifiable credential that proves your identity and lives in what we call an identity wallet. So now when you check into the hotel, you present the front desk with a verifiable credential and share only what the hotel needs. This establishes that you are who you say you are, without giving away more personal information than you'd like. Verifiable Credentials make proving claims easier, more private, and more secure.
Hey everyone, happy Friday. Hope you're doing well. I see Angie wrote in the chat that her favorite Lifetime Unlimited snack is Doritos. Anybody else? I would love to hear from you. I think for me, Doritos is a really good one, especially spicy nacho. I like popcorn too. But if this is your first time tuning in, you're watching TBD TV. This is a weekly live stream that we do every Friday where we talk to different SSI experts about what they're building, what they're working on, so we can learn more about the ecosystem and grow with them. Today, I'm super excited because we're going to talk to the CEO of 2060.io, and he's built something called Hologram, which is both like a messaging app that leverages VCs, and it's a wallet application as well, and it's used within, I think from what I've read, and we'll clarify with him, but it's used within like Latin America and other countries outside of the US. So I'm excited to learn about that. I'll bring Fabrice up right now. And Fabrice, before I ask you any questions around your product or who you are, I'm curious for you, what's your favorite snack? Like, if you could just have like a million lifetime supply of it, what would it be?
I think that's when I need some kind of energy, I go for the apple. This is for me my favorite snack, and I always have one there ready to be it.
You're healthy. You're like, I need an apple. They do say apple a day keeps the doctor away.
I'm trying to stay in good conditions. In order to have a good mind, we need to have a good body.
That's true. That's a good point. I wish I said apple or something. I need to sound healthier. I'm gonna say pineapples. Cool. So why don't you? Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Why don't you go ahead and tell us very quickly just who you are and what you do?
Yes. First of all, thank you for the invitation. My name is Fabrice Rochette. I'm French, but I live in Colombia. I immigrated to Colombia 12 years ago because I love Latin America, and for me it's a very nice place to live. And I'm an electronical engineer. I studied in France a long time ago, and I moved to the software from the beginning in 2001 when I started to work. And I always look at software that preserves privacy, that is open source. I like this kind of topic, and I've never worked in very big companies. I always try to work on startup, or I always try to build my own companies. I've worked in several industries. The main industries I've been working in is the mobile operators. We are still providing a lot of software to mobile operators, mainly in Latin America, but we have customers in other continents as well. And we have within this business, we decided to create, such a kind of incubator where we are starting new projects, and we are building some software that we believe will be very helpful for the community, and for helping the internet to go back to a trusted internet. So this is our philosophy. Our philosophy is to bring solutions that provides the bricks for building software which is privacy preserving, and I think we all are sharing the same ideas.
Yeah, very interesting, especially that you're in like the mobile operating ecosystem or industry. And you also said that you never worked at, or you prefer to work at startups or companies you've built yourself. I'm curious, when within the process, when did you discover self-sovereign identity or decentralization?
A good question. I think that it was just before the pandemics. We were working in a SIM card project with a friend of mine. We were building software for SIM cards, and so my friend at this time was working at Gemalto, which is a company that is providing SIM cards, smart cards in general. And we were talking about the fact that the internet had changed a lot since the beginning, and that at the moment everything is controlled by only few companies, and that our data is not safe anymore, and everybody is reselling our information and so on. So we started to dig into technologies for decentralizing the internet. And finally, we wrote some specification of something before even knowing about the self-sovereign identity. And then one day we found something. We found the IIW, the Internet Identity Workshop website. And from that, we started to find some specification drafts around verifiable credentials. We understood the verifiable credentials concepts. We found the Sovereign Foundation, which was the beginning of the SSI, and we found it very interesting. So we decided to assign part of the earning we have with the mobile operator business in order to found new projects using these concepts of SSI.
That's really interesting. I've that like you found this during the pandemic, and it kind of had to do with a lot more than like it was like you and your friend kind of coming together and bringing that up. I'm curious then, right? So you and your friend came together and you guys built this project or this company together? Why did you name it 2060? I'm curious if there's any significance behind that. Do you like think like by 2060 we're going to be fully decentralized? I don't know.
Yeah, I think she will be. Yeah, how can I say? There is no real reason why we named it 2060. I think that when we started the project, it was a project code. We named it 2060 because it's for the future. So we think that we are building something that will be used in the future. That's why we say 2060, and we selected 2060 because it's not too soon, so we have time to make it. So that's the reason. But well, I don't have any other good reason for explaining that. It was like that.
Okay, that makes sense. Y'all are like, maybe in the future, hopefully. You're like, that's enough time for it to happen. I asked because I used to be part of a program called Code 2040, and like their goal was like by 2040, they wanted there to be more like people of color in the tech industry. So I was like, maybe it's something similar. But I like it that it's futuristic. And I'm curious too, like how would this question sound maybe a little bit hard, but I like to ask it just to help break things down for people. How would you describe what 2060 does to a 5-year-old?
Yeah, I mean, what we are trying to do is to find a way so that internet users, will be able to identify the services they are connecting to, and that services will be able to identify the users that they are connecting to them. So the idea is to establish a trusted communication channel between the user and the service.
Nice and simple. Trusted communication channel between the user and the service. And then Ace, he just came in. He said, "What happens in 2061?" By 2061, Fabrice has a goal. Well, he put the date just in case. He's not like claiming anything, but hopefully by that time, um, it'll be more common. And feel free to expand. I don't want to speak for you, but it'll be more common to be able to connect the users to service and use verifiable credentials and all that within SSI.
Yeah, you're right. Now, I think that before 2060, before the 2060 year, I mean, I think that many things will happen. I think that the internet will be totally different, and maybe 2060 will not exist anymore, but other names or other concepts. So I think we are here for the long haul. So
Yeah,
I'm not worried about that.
yeah, you're helping to start the movement at the very least. I tried to Google how like I was trying to figure out 2060. How many years is that? I'll be 65. You know? I'm also curious, right? So you have 2060 has a product called Hologram, and it's both a verifiable credential wallet and it's a messaging app. So I have one question, I have more than one question about it. But the first question is, well, I read that it was a self-custody app, meaning like the user's data is only stored on their device and they have control over their data. And I was curious about that because TBD uses decentralized web nodes to make that possible. I'm curious, what technology do you guys use to make it possible for users to own their own data?
Right. Yes, it's a good question. First, the wallet. The wallet software is using the Credo framework, which is hosted at the Open Wallet Foundation. We are maintainer of the frameworks, by the way, and it's a very good framework to start. I know there are many frameworks, but we decided to work with this one because it's written in TypeScript, and so we can use it for cloud projects, and we can use it for React Native apps. So we are using these frameworks for storing the credentials, the keys, and so on. And then for storing user content. User generated content at the moment is not stored. It is stored. I mean, in a secure storage in the phone. But when a user sends, for example, an attachment in a message, the attachment is uploaded to a data store, but the attachment is ciphered using the key of the user, and only the recipient can decipher the content, which means that the data store is only used to store ciphered files. But this is for the exchanging messages. But in the handset of the user, the information is just persisted in the handset, in the wallet, and in a secure storage, and it's not accessible to other apps.
Interesting. I haven't played around with the Cradle framework before, so I didn't know that's what it enabled. That's pretty cool, and I think that's good. Like, I think more users, or I think more platforms should enable users to be able to own their data and have control over it. Also, we have a comment that I saw on Discord. It's nothing like crazy, but they were just saying, finally another French person in this industry. Bonsoir, bonsoir to you. And then my other question then is, like, since you just brought that all that up, like, how interoperable is the wallet app side of Hologram, right? Like the VC wallet. Like, I think I saw that it supports DidCom. Like, let's say TBD wanted to put their own verifiable credentials in there. Is it able to do that yet, or that's not what the wallet is made for?
Yeah, I think that it all depends on the priority we give to the project, because really the Credo wallet is supporting Ditcom as a transport layer and OpenID for VC. The framework is supporting a lot of different types of credentials. I mean, the W3C credentials, the unencrypted credentials. So, I mean, we started this project 3 years ago. At the moment, in the version that is published in the app stores, we are still using unencrypted as a format. But this will change, I guess. I mean, in the near future, because at the moment we are using the W3C credential format for linked credential. When someone connects to a service, I will show you that later. In order to identify the provider of the service, in the deed document of the deed of the service, you have what we are calling a linked verifier presentation, which is linked to a W3C credential. So at the moment, we are using that for identifying the services, but within the wallet, we are using the unencrypted. I mean, we can receive a W3C credential in the wallet. It's possible. It's technically possible. We need to do some kind of interop hackathon in order to verify if it works. But at the moment, for example, there are many credentials format that we are supporting, and for example, we can connect to the demo service of other companies. Usually, it works. Or if it doesn't work, it's the interoperability is always complicated, because someone will use another version of the specification, or because there are things that are not so stable yet. So it's always a big nightmare to have a fully interop product. But yes, you should be able to do that.
So it sounds like it should be able to happen, but
Yeah.
you didn't test it yet, so you're not sure.
Yeah.
But it should be, and I agree with you, and I understand what you're saying when you say, like, it's the interoperability is hard. Like, I have seen that across different companies where, like, but that's something we're still working on as an industry, to be able to support all these different things, because there's different requirements for each credential, and we're still in early stages. So I totally understand that. Before we move forward into just checking out the demo, I'm gonna play a quick video for people so that they're aware of the KCC hackathon that we have going on. I would love if y'all would get involved and participate. And of course, there's great rewards for participating as well. So I'll go ahead and press play.
Imagine a world where your customers can transact across payment apps without the hassle of repeated identity verification checks. Try it out for yourself in the Known Customer Credential Challenge. Step 1. Become an issuer by using the Web5 SDK to create a decentralized identifier in a decentralized web node. Step 2. Issue Alice a known customer credential confirming you've already verified her identity. She can now transact with you without repeated verification. Step 3. Store Alice's credential in her decentralized web node, allowing her to securely present it from any TBDEX-enabled payment app. With $5,000 in prizes up for grabs, now's the perfect time to showcase your skills. Submit your entry by November 4th for a chance to win big. Ready to get started? Visit bit.ly/KCC-challenge to learn more and join the hackathon. Happy hacking!
All right, we're back. I hope that y'all heard 5K in prizes. So I hope that was like an incentive for you a little bit. And also, I helped to build the project that y'all, or the challenge that y'all will be participating in. And if you have questions, I'm happy to answer. Fabrice, I want to transition into the demo. So let me know when you're ready for me to show your screen.
Whenever you want.
Awesome. So go ahead and dive into showing us what Hologram looks like and how it works.
Okay, thank you very much. So Hologram is a chat application. I think you can see my my mobile screen. So you can find Hologram in the App Store, in the Google Play Store. It is even in the Huawei Store. So it's I mean a Signal, Telegram, WhatsApp-like app. So here you have a list of chats. You have a scanner. We will use it later. We have a simple wallet where I can see my credentials, and we have a setting option. Here I have a QR code that I can share to anyone. So you can scan this QR code with your hologram, and then we can establish a peer-to-peer connection by using the DITCOM protocol. So basically, it's quite easy to use. When you go to a chat, you can have some peer-to-peer chats, or you can have chats with chatbots. For example, here I'm seeing a chatbot. So here on the top right side, you have a menu, which is a kind of contextual menu that can be updated programmatically using the DITCOM protocol. Everything is based on the DITCOM protocol, and we are only using messages defined in the spec of the DITCOM protocol. So so you can connect to any kind of service. You have services that can issue credentials. So, for example, here I have a demo service which is called Gaia Citizen Registry. So when I click on the top of the connection, I can see, and this is very, very interesting, and it's something to has to do with what I will explain later. But what we want is that a user may identify the service provider. So here we have access to all the information of the service, and we have what we are calling the proof of trust, which gives me a clue of how secure is the service, how trustable is the service. So I will maybe talk about that a little bit later. But basically, when I connect to a service, so here I have a demo service in my screen, as you can see, which is called Modern Bank Identity Verification. So I will scan this service with my hologram app. It's the same. I can identify who is the service. Then I think I was already connected to this service. Just a moment. I scan the service,
Okay.
and I go to the service.
Oh, okay, okay.
I think I already had a session, so it's always the same when we do a demo.
Okay.
Just a moment. Yeah, it doesn't work.
Oh no,
I will do another demo.
that's okay. That happens. I get it. I have to do a lot of demos in my life.
But anyway, let me explain how it works.
Hmm.
I connect to a service. This is a KYC service, but I wanted to show that because it's interesting because there is a biometric verification. So
Mm.
just give me a last attempt.
Take your time.
Yeah.
And as you work it out, I'll let people know. Like, if you all have comments or questions as Fabrice is demoing or debugging his demo, feel free to put it in the chat so that we can address those after.
I think I will have to do some kind of improvisation.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so here I'm connecting to another demo, which is doing the same, by the way. So what we are seeing here, I'm connecting to an insurance service. It's a medical insurance service, and I would like to have a remote. I would like to talk to a doctor. So the insurance is requesting me presenting a credential to authenticate myself. So I select the credential, I present the credential, and then what will happen is that the insurance, because they would like to be sure I am who is inside the credential. So here, if I see the credential, I can see it's called Colombia ID. Here I have my picture. It's like an identity card. So here, what will do the insurance? They will perform a biometric verification in order to compare the picture of the credential with my face. So we'll do the process.
I can't read the Spanish or Portuguese. What does it say? Did it say turn your head or rotate your
Yeah,
head?
I was saying, open your mouth, blink your eyes. Yeah, sorry, but the other one is in English, but I don't know why it's not working at the moment.
That's okay. I was like trying to challenge myself. I was like, I'm multilingual. I'm like, no, I don't know what it says.
But anyway, it worked. It worked,
Yeah.
and so the idea is to that the service is comparing the picture which is in the credential I just shared with my face, and then they detected that there were it matches. So then I'm authenticated, and they will pass me a doctor. So this was the demo. Indeed, is to show that we can use the biometric verification is done by using a DITCOM bootstrap with a WebRTC server. So all that I'm talking about is open source. So for example, if you want to build a service with which is requesting a credential to the user and then performing a biometric verification, you can do it with the open source software. And the biometric verification module is being registered at the moment in the NIST. So it will have the same accuracy that other modules that you need to pay a lot of money to use. So basically, this is the idea of the app. You can provide some chatbots. In the chatbots, you can request or present credentials. You can do some kind of a chat support. Everything is done through the end-to-end secured, trustable communication channel. So as soon as the two ends are identified, I mean both the service and the user, then we can consider that the communication channel is secure. So this is the idea of Hologram, is providing a secure chat communication channel.
Okay, that was really cool, I would say. I think it was cool for me to see this way of doing like presentation exchange, because I've always imagined it like maybe being in person and scanning, but I wasn't thinking how will it be done virtually. So like kind of how it popped up in the chat with the presentation request, and then you sent your presentation and it went back and forth. That was cool to see. I think there's a question in the chat of like, oh, is this only for, and I can take this off for you, in our Discord chat, so you might not be able to see it, but is this only for fintech? And that kind of builds off of another question I had of like, what companies or types of companies are leveraging hologram today?
No, it's not really only for fintech. By the way, for example, here we have a Bitdefender service, which is used in Algeria for selling Bitdefender's licenses. So I mean, anyone can build a chatbot service for free. You just need to download the SDK in our GitHub repository. You build your chatbot. You can do whatever you want. Even have, for example, some use cases with mobile operators where they are using it for customer support, or even we have a service called Friend Chat, where you can meet people by using the chat, and by selecting some animators you would like to talk to. So you can imagine whatever you want. I mean, it's not tied to a specific industry. The idea is anyone can build a chatbot.
That makes sense, and I think it's needed, because sometimes you get a chat or a message from somebody random, and you're like, "Who is this?" Like, I don't know. Like, I would like to have like some proof of that this is a real message from somebody. So whether it's like a more financial industry or a more casual situation where you're just trying to connect with somebody or be their friend, that I think this is a really cool tool. While people start thinking of questions, I'm gonna play a video just letting y'all know about Hacktoberfest that's going on right now. October, we're halfway through, and I'm just gonna show you all some of the opportunities for you to be able to participate. So yeah, don't forget, y'all, get involved in Hacktoberfest. We have a variety of different projects. Like we have, like you, as you saw, but I just want to expand. Like, you can do content creation where you're writing blog posts, or you are like creating videos, which I think is fun and like very accessible for people. Or of course, you can do some coding. I'm all about open source, as Fabrice is as well. Okay, we did get a question in, and somebody said, how compliant friendly is Hologram with regulators?
Well, something you will see if you download the app is that there are no groups, and I will explain why we have no groups in a hologram. Um, uh, but because we have no groups, you only have peer-to-peer communication, which means between two persons, or user-to-service communication. For this reason, uh, we are not concerned about issues such as what's happening with Telegram and the moderation issues. So one of the reasons why we do not have the groups in hologram is for that, because when there we consider that all any service must have a responsible. I mean, they need to have an entity responsible of a service. So the groups will be available in hologram, but it will be a service. It will not be inside hologram like we have in WhatsApp or Telegram or Signal, but it will be a separate service, and anyone will be able to build its group, but the group must be identified by a credential, and the credential must be an organization or a person. This is how we define the trust, and this is how we will fight regulation complaints, because we will always provide a responsible of a service.
Okay, that's an interesting approach that I didn't think of. And then I actually have another question. I know that when I see applications that support, and let me take this question down, like KYC checks, biometric authentication, and all that, one concern people have is over like there being like AI impersonation or deep fakes. And I think I know the answer to this, but I would love to hear from you. Like, how is hologram helpful against like maybe AI deep fakes or something like that?
Well, what you can do, you can, for example, we have a demo service. To be honest with you, we've not pushed a lot this service, but it works, which is called the Avatar ID. So it's really easy. It's a proof of humanity. So you create a credential. I think I have it. I have one here in my.
Oh, you want to show it? You want me to put it up?
Yeah. Please share the
Okay.
screen if it's
You
possible.
want to switch from our perfect
Yeah.
or even
So
our questions? Go ahead.
so the avatar really is you choose an avatar name, uh,
Hmm.
you upload a picture, and then you protect your avatar with your face, which means that you take a capture of your face. Obviously, this capture will not be in the credential of your avatar, but you protect it with your face. So, for example, if you lose your wallet, then you just need to do a facial recognition, a face verification, in order to get your credential back.
Yeah.
So then, when you would like to access a service that needs proof of humanity, you simply present your avatar ID, and then because if you have an avatar ID, it means that you passed the face verification. So that's why we are calling it proof of humanity, and it's quite easy to use. You have a link to this avatar ID in the 2060 website. In the use cases, I think it is here, so you can scan it, and you can try it.
Okay, I'll put the link in the chat. That's kind of cool that you can connect your identity to a particular avatar. Let's see. Proof of humanity.
So you need to create the avatar ID, and then there is another service for proving you are human, where you present your avatar ID.
Okay, okay. So
So
okay, so first you create the avatar ID chatbot, and
yeah,
then you prove your humanity for it.
yeah,
Awesome. That's kind of cool.
yeah.
Let me post that in here for folks. All right. And then let me see other questions that I had, and I'll take this off the screen. Um, I'm just curious, like this is not necessarily related to your product or anything, but if you can go back in time and give yourself advice to when you were just starting out this product or in this field, what will you say to yourself?
Eh, I think that's it's complicated to answer because it's you know that very well. Working on Web 5, it means that we need to explore a lot. We need to test. We need to try. We need to go to several directions in
Yeah.
order to find what is the best one. So at the moment, I would say more or less that maybe I would have started before, because in these technologies, experience and time are very important. But if I had to change something, I don't really know what I would change, because everything we did uh, has been very important for the experience and for our growth. So I don't really know what I would change. We are working at the moment on many different things. Hologram is one project. We are targeting other solutions, such as, for example, the trust layer and the trust registry problem. So the trust resolution issues as well. So it's complicated to say finally if like 3 years ago, if I had to start again for what I would do, I don't really. I think that what we did was great for us, because we learned a lot, and now we know what we want to do.
No regrets then. I get that. And and I think that's fair. Like you will never know if something works unless you try it out. And I like that you answered. I was going to ask you what other products is 2060 working on. You already started talking about like trust layer and the trust registry. And then I have one last question. I know you're operating maybe in Latin America, and then are any countries in Africa too? Or not? Did I misread that?
Yeah, we have some leads in Africa, in Nigeria, for example, in Tanzania, in Algeria.
Mhm.
We have a company in Algeria, by the way. We are doing some business in Algeria. In Dubai, we have some leads as well. There is a lot of. We have many leads. We have many leads, and we know that obviously within the next 2 years, things will change a lot. There is a lot of business that will start around what we are doing, and around what the ecosystem is building. By the way, it's not only specified to what we are doing. It's for everybody. I think that's we are at the beginning of the Web 5, and it's quite interesting. I mean, ecosystem. It's a lot. It's promising a lot.
Yeah, it is promising a lot. And I was curious too, like do you think, I don't know if you would notice, like user adoption has been greater in like, or there's been more user adoption in one region versus another? I'm just curious.
Yeah, it depends. Yeah, because it depends I mean, the onboarding channels we have in the countries. For example, there are some countries when we have some privileged relation with either the governments or big companies. So, for example, we might instruct the user to download the app, because he needs to download the app in order to perform an action, for example. And so we have some countries where we have a lot of we have more adoptions that in other countries. But I think that's one of the main, and the main challenges for the next years for the next years for us will be the onboarding of the community for developing around what we are building. At the moment, we have not advertised a lot what we are doing, because simply because we want to develop it more before starting to do some noise. But with what we are preparing, we know that sooner or later there will be adoption. But it's always the same. With what should we start for the adoption? But we have already, a good idea of how to increase the adoption. We have some contracts with some companies in Latin America. We have some projects that are being integrated and that will be launched soon. We have another mobile application that we will launch and that will be used it will be more focused on KYC. And so we know that the adoption will eventually come within the next months or year.
Exciting. Yeah, I think so. And especially since you're open source, I think that'll help to attract even more user adoption as well. We have one last question that was in the Discord chat. And so someone said, so we have been using, I guess for their particular use case, they've been using verification or Verif as our KYC partner, but they have their sanction countries, which kind of defeats the idea of decentralization. So is 2060 IO friendly with sanctioned countries?
It all depends on how we want to restrict the use of the software we are providing. We have a solution for doing some restrictions regarding the origin or the origin of the service, of the origin of the user. As soon as as far as we can, as soon as we can identify both the user and the organization, then at the wallet side we can do some filtering and restrict the usage of a service or a credential for a specific country, for example.
Cool. That was good to know. All right. So we'll start wrapping up, and I usually wrap up by a small, very short game. For you, Fabrice, basically, I just say a statement. It doesn't mean I believe it. I might say, I prefer pineapples over pizza. And you can do a thumbs down or thumbs up. And you can, if you wanted to explain why or why not, you can. Are you ready?
Okay, I will try.
Cool. So it's very simple. Nothing crazy. So I prefer winter over summer. Thumbs up or thumbs down? Thumbs down. Me too. I don't like the cold. And you moved from France to Latin America, so that's telling. Okay, another one is I would prefer to explain decentralized identity to a kindergartner rather than convincing my grandparents to use a digital wallet. So would you rather explain decentralized identity to a kindergartner, or would you rather try to convince your grandparents to use maybe hologram? Thumbs up or thumbs down? It's a hard one. Either one. You're in between. Yeah, both could be very difficult. I mean, maybe if I was you, I would want to convince my grandparents to use hologram, because then I'll have more users on my application.
I will tell you something. By the way, my kids are using hologram.
Oh,
Because I don't want them to use a mobile application where anyone can reach them. So with hologram, because it's using an invitation process, you cannot contact someone if you are not you don't have an invitation. So That's why for my kids it's perfect, because I know they are sure they can talk to me, they can talk to their friends, but
Yeah.
they cannot receive an invitation. They cannot get contacted by someone they don't know.
Wow, I like that. That's really good that you have that, or have your kids using that. I would like to see more apps or more people adopt hologram, or more apps have that type of flow, because I have so many spammy texts. Like sometimes it's, I think I posted this when I was promoting the project or this live stream. Like sometimes Jack Dorsey, not really Jack Dorsey, he's like, "Hey, I need your gift card." I'm like, "No, you don't." So I'm just, it's just annoying. And I can see how it's not safe for kids at all. Like the internet is not safe, and like even texting is not safe because you could be talking to anybody. Um, okay, and then my last one to you is, I prefer. Oh, Tanya also said some stuff. She said kids are more curious and open. She said she can't deal with sweating regarding winter and summer, so she said thumbs up for winter. Okay, so I prefer early mornings to late nights. Thumbs up or thumbs down? Thumbs up. Okay. I feel like that's very CEO like. I like late nights better. All right. So it was really great talking with you. Thank you so much for coming here and explaining how 2060 and hologram works. I appreciate your time, especially since I believe you're in a different time zone than me. Um, and I wanted to highlight. Oh, someone said early nights. Early is late nights for me. Oh, and Tanya said, "I love both. I cannot do both." Awesome. And then I just wanted to highlight some of your, like, some links that we talked about. So 2060, you all have a bunch of projects. You're open source on GitHub if people wanted to contribute and get involved. And then you also had various use cases that you showed us, including that avatar ID chatbot, and then the proof of humanity service that people should check out as well at 2060.io/use cases. Do you want to say any last things before we fully wrap up?
No, just I would like just to thank you very much for your invitation. That's what was really nice to share with everybody. I'm pretty happy to do this kind of meetings. It's different from what we usually do, and I think that maybe in the future we will be able to do another meeting and see the progress.
Yeah.
By the way, I think we have many things to share with TBD as well. Uh, I will be in the IIW at the end of the month. If anyone join, then we can meet there.
Awesome. Maybe I think a lot of people from my company like to go to IIW, so you definitely might bump into people. And if you ever wanted to have some kind of connection with TBD or anything, feel free to message me. You have my email, and I can try to hit you up with our partnerships team. I also want to say thanks so much to our community for tuning in and asking great questions as always. I appreciate y'all. It's my motivator to continue to keep doing these live streams. And I hope you all have a good Friday. I'll end the stream, and what you should see is a video of like our September community spotlight. So bye everyone.
Thank you very much. Bye bye.
Bye.